There we go. That goeth. Let's go ahead and announce the stream. Let's go ahead and see if I can figure out the hell, where's my latest dev stream announcement? I usually just copy the latest one. There we go. Yeah, I just scrolled right past it. There we go. I don't have particularly specific tasks, but I left this branch a while ago just sort of sitting, just sort of not quite there. And I feel like I even wrote, yes, AV guesser. Yeah, I wrote something to help with this branch. So this branch is supposed to have more modular builds of libav, libav.js, that is. The idea being that you can like just load a version that has the particular demuxer you need or what have you. Yes. That's false. Let me actually update the, master branch. There we go. There we go. That's more like it. I don't understand why this didn't merge. I don't think I changed this. Oh, is it because... yeah. I handled that in a different way. Okay, that's why I didn't merge. No problem. Yeah. Now, my EMSDK is radically out of date, and that's actually quite important for recent libav versions. So I'm going to go ahead and update that. Just list. Thanks. Yeah, because there's been a 4.0 since the last time I did this. Let's install 405. Wait, 406 introduced a bug, I think. I might install 40. Well, it didn't introduce a bug, obviously. Yeah, 407. It changed something, which I'm calling introducing a bug because it caused my code to have a bug. Oh my god, I can't type. There we go. Okay, so, yeah, that makes sense. And if I look in configs, I guess fragments shouldn't be too messy, but if I look in configs, yeah, there we go. That's what I want to see, an absolute nightmare of configurations. Did I... in the make file, let's look at like WMV1. No, okay. try like this. So this should just be able to demux FLAC, and ironically not even decode FLAC. But when you're using these or these light components, it sort of makes sense to really have only one function. It's also possible that sitting in dist, I've got a bunch of pre-built crap. God, I got a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, so like our demuxer for FLAC. Oh, it's just less than a meg. That's nice. Yeah, way less than a meg. I'm actually faintly impressed by that. How about a decoder for FLAC? Slightly distressed by the fact that it doesn't seem to... Like, did I already have all of this built? Because, like, this is the configuration for FFmpeg, but I don't see the actual... There's the build of FFmpeg. Never mind. Doop-a-doop-doo. I just keep expecting this to be a much faster process than it actually is. Okay, the decoder for FLAC. Oh, also less than meg. Neat. Okay, so this isn't too bad. I imagine the, like, surrounding... Yeah, that was just the WASM. I imagine the surrounding JavaScript code is going to be annoyingly chunky. Nope. No, it isn't. Seems fine. Wait, this is the actual surrounding code, isn't it? Decoder FLAC, like this one. Okay. Maybe things have gotten smaller. I seem to recall this was all like way too chunky and huge. Then again, I'm not trying like video formats or anything. I'm gonna make clean because I've got too much crap lying around. So the important question is, am I certain I haven't broken the normal build? And to figure that out, I'm just gonna have to make a normal build and run the tests. But in the interim, I can worry about how TransAVormer can be made to use this. So, I need to remind myself of the libav.js documentation even. So I think... like, the libav loader has an option to choose the variant. I'm not looking for the building of the variant, I'm looking for the loading of the variant. Which I guess isn't actually documented where I was hoping it would be. It's probably documented just in I have no idea. Yeah, there we go. It's just a string, not complicated. So the idea here would be to use AVGuessr to decide what kind of thing this is. And this literally just looks at the header of the file and makes a guess. And it just guesses the format. It doesn't guess anything else about it. I'm just sitting here thinking about how I want this to integrate, because the design I had for TransAVormer before, which, it's been a couple months since I've updated it. It's not too bad. The design I had before, you always give it the libav instance, and I'm trying to decide, like, what's the smart way to make it at least sort of possible to use this multi system. I guess I could take, because I think this takes a, that's not the right place to look. Do I have like a, yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, this takes a fully initialized libav as its input. The problem is you need different information based on, like, the situation you're in. And I don't want to remove the ability to just have a fixed libav. It's important that that's still there. Init demuxer would take in the file in various formats. I'm thinking, like, can I just pass the init, like have some function that takes the init and returns a libav, and that way you could write that function. I'll probably provide a function for the specific case of handling these multivariants. There's also the pointer problem, but I can concern myself with that after I've concerned myself with the initial just how do I want the API to look problem. It's just not quite clicking how I would like for this to work. Like, you could build it all manually, but that kind of defeats the purpose. So what do these inits look like? Do they give me enough information to be useful? It's all as copyright 2024, in spite of the fact that I was working on it in 2025. Brilliant. Input file. Yeah, it's this that makes it kind of tricky. Well, and this and this. Because I need to get those first chunks out of there. Maybe, okay, maybe I am willing to take it as a given that the user has to do the AV guesser, so that TransAVormer doesn't become dependent on AV guesser. In which case, in which case what? That clears up everything except the very problem I was just trying to solve. So if I say that you can pass either a okay, so what I would want is like a function. Let me type def this. So either you can give me a fully formed libav, or you can give me a I assume that's the thing I want. Let me just quickly verify that. Yes. I am willing to have TransAVormer depend on I'm willing to have TransAVormer depend on at least the naming convention of oh wait, but then the encoder side. I mean, maybe you just build it one step at a time. No, that sucks. I like so instantly went, here's an idea. No, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. Okay, let's run some tests, make sure I haven't exploded everything. So, okay. Here's the problem. There's all these different things you can build. You know what? I think the right option is actually to have it be an init option for demuxer and decoder. Yes. Okay, so what I can do is there's no. Okay. Yes. Okay. It is only conceivable that demuxer and decoder would need this. Nothing else makes any sense because uh, if you are encoding, you know what you're encoding to, and you should have something that can actually do that, etc., etc. So like encoder, muxer, all the filters, you just need to have the right libav. You need to make sure you've done it yourself. But demuxer and decoder can be like a bit special. So what I do is I add into the interfaces, I open up this file multiple times, I add into the interfaces for init of demuxer and decoder, So I'm just being momentarily surprised because I didn't document any of these, but I guess they're pretty obvious. Anyway. Is it only decoders where this actually makes any sense? The demuxer knows the type. But for the demuxer, for me to auto-choose the demuxer, I see. Oh, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. So the demuxer should, in its init, be able to override the libav, which feels weird, but usually you don't want different libavs at different levels. So so the libav is not taken as an init parameter. Maybe it should be. Maybe, okay. Here's the right way to organize this. This shouldn't be here. Or, any of these places. It should only be in the init, but it should be mandatory in the init. No, that's like messy and ugly. I think it's actually better this way. Yeah, you can't. That should only be in the non-pointer version. If you wanted pointers,
then you're forced to use the same libav. That's another reason actually to specialize it and not sort of have that in all the inits, because it doesn't make sense unless you're making sure to distinguish. Okay. I seem to be at a weird angle.
I'm just going to quickly adjust myself. Why? The hell? Won't auto wrap. The fact that these are only distinguished by capitalization seems like it's probably fine. Okay. That is the right way to do this. And what I need now is, when I'm building, this has to actually be an async now. Right, init.type is definitely demuxer now, so I need if init dot libav. Then I'll use that and force pointer to false. Else, I use the pointer option. Demuxer just takes that. Decoder, similar idea here. If init.libav, then, oh wait, this isn't actually async, is it? Yeah, because I didn't call the asynchronous constructor. Quick bathroom break, I'll be right back. Okay, I have a problem for the decoder, which is I need to do this first, and I need to actually get the full, like, built packet stream. This must be a packet stream. Surely. Yes. The packet stream promise. Wait, if I just have libav, that's easy. I'll just use it. If I have this, then I need to know what kind of thing I'm decoding. Problem being things. Yeah, because there's multiple streams. I didn't quite think this through. There's a solution to this, but I'm slightly reluctant to use it. The solution is I make the decoder actually support having multiple libavs. Really? You don't recognize the... Oh, it's a promise. God damn it. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, here we go. Yep, it has the codec ID, which is what I need. Okay, so I need, for the decoder, to have a cache of libavs. So that it can reuse them. The normal libav still needs to be good so that I can at least like get the names out. Pointer. No. Codec. Something by ID. There it is. So this is obviously not great because I'm just checking the first one, but one step at a time here. I sort of don't trust this. You know what I'm going to do? That way we can be confident that the libav you give it as that at least knows the name. Because you give it the same one you use for the demuxer. Not reentrant. Well, it's non-reentrant in a way that's not especially troublesome. Oh, fine, I'll do this properly. Learn to catch your own reentrancy bugs and be so annoyed by them that you fix them before they ever turn into a problem. Okay. That should be it, right? I think so. I have situations so there are situations where I think the AGPL makes sense, but so okay, here's the issue. The GPL has no teeth. And so I think that adding, like, you don't fix the GPL's toothlessness by adding more clauses. The GPL has no teeth because nobody actually gives a shit. Like, even the open source community doesn't follow our own licenses at all. And the, like, legal situation, I mean, the number, I'm building something on libav right now. The number of people who just outright violate libav's license, which is more open than GPL, it's the LGPL, like everybody does. It's an absolute mess. So given that the GPL has no teeth anyway, I have sort of depressively written off the AGPL because it's solving a real problem, but it's solving the legal side of a real problem when the legal side isn't working anyway. Let's check on my tests. 0 tests failed. That's what I want to hear. No changes. That was already working. Just post that merge. I did push that, right? Yes. I don't know why I'm reading that file. vnice is not a command I have on here. Actually, it probably is. vnice is a common abbreviation I have for nice-n10 io-nice-c3. Okay, and AV guesser is probably basically fine. Well, like I said, it's solving a problem that I think is a real problem. I'm just basically I'm a little bit I don't know, nihilistic about the state of people following open source licenses. I could use like a simple demo of this. Yeah, exactly, Lucy. But I like, it doesn't seem to exist. It's not out there yet, so. Let me actually make this an MJS file. That, I believe, is asynchronous. No, it's not. Yeah, I guess I don't know why it would be now that I think about it. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's like a cultural problem that people don't even follow like the MIT license correctly. So, uh, getting the culture to follow more complex licenses correctly, it's catastrophic. Let me just let's have a brief aside here, uh, just to put you in the mindset of my thoughts on the state of licensing in general. So at yahweasel.github.io/ yeah, there we go. MIT could not be less vague. So here's my long screed on why I hate license files, because nobody does it right. And I mentioned that, like, in FFmpeg, they have a license file, but it doesn't include all of the correct information. So, like, if you use this filter, then just look at this copying file, then you're violating the licenses of the authors of this filter because it has an attribution requirement, and LGPL doesn't include that. And yeah, it's catastrophic. It's all the open source people are given how important we consider licenses, we're really bad at actually doing it. I don't actually want to read the entire file, so why don't I just v2. I think that works. Yes. So I actually usually use the ISC license, Lucy, but yeah, I stick that header on every file I'm releasing under ISC. In fact, I mean, although I haven't bothered to stick it on this file, well, I'll probably release, since it's just a demo, I'll release it under the unlicensed. The hell? Did I never release this at all? Nope. Okay. Well, I guess I better do that at some point. Here we go. Yeah, so ISC license on every file. I'm very consistent about it, but obviously I'm a little bit less concerned with something that I haven't actually released at all yet. Read. Okay, so this reads into a buffer. That's exceedingly annoying. That ought to be sufficient. Buffer, array buffer. What does that mean? So I'm really confused. I think that's what I actually want. I've got a bunch of random crap here. Oh, whoops. Success false. Hooray! It's nothing. Bytes read 0. What? It didn't successfully read the file? Excuse me? Yeah, there are lots of licenses that are annoying, that are exceedingly annoying. And there's a lot, like, there's a huge problem of people doing something in a well-meaning way that makes something effectively not open source or very annoying to use. Like, open, quote-unquote, open web UI has recently added some crap to their license so that you can't remove branding, which, like, I understand why they did it. It's not like they're intending to be evil, but it's not open source now. So it's like, well, you screwed it up. Does this require more arguments and I'm just being a moron? Doesn't require more, no. Well. I can solve certain problems, but license hell is just not one of them. This should be one of them, but I have no idea what the hell is going on. 0, like, actually read, please. Why would the length to read be optional if it doesn't guess based on the length of the buffer? That's utterly bizarre. What? Okay. Well, it did guess correctly after I convinced it to actually read. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I am reading it wrong. I is reading it wrong. Hello, you reading it wrong. Neat. Okay, so that's all working. Good. WebP it should recognize as an image format. Good. I don't even. I wish nothing to do with the original artistic license. I am. So this is. Well, what I'm on at this very moment is an AV format guesser that's very small. That is part of building this TransAVormer tool, which is an anything to anything transformer for audio and video data in the web browser. So convert, any file format to any other file format, do all the filters, whatever. It is a generalized framework for that, and I'm sort of adding icing on the proverbial cake at this point. The real trick, Lucy, would be to somehow map Git, like if you can make Git do it so that the changes file just is git blame. It just like automatically checks out git blame as the changes file. That doesn't even really make any sense, but yes, that. Did I even make a Git repository for this? Yes, I did. I don't. Yeah, okay, that explains it. I've literally not even committed this yet. Lol. Let's just grab a random file here to snag the header from. It's not 2024 at all. It's 2025. Oh, that sucks. I'm trying to remember what thing. There's some, like, tool where everything is under that license. Is it the origin? Is it Perl? For some reason, Perl is in my head, but that feels wrong. Yes, here we go. I'm just going to close all of these. I've got too much random crap open. Old Perl was artistic v1. I don't know what I means in this context. Why is my face so silent? Well, it came back. Never mind. It just is what it is. Okay, let's see here. So with the license information, wait. There we go. Let's go ahead and add stuff. Actually, wait. Get status. Yeah. Kit added. Ignore. Node modules. I truly cannot type today. Stop. I've done that. That's why it's on DuckDuckGo. I'm not even logged in. Lol. Gonna create a repository for this where I am logged in, off on the side, on monitor number 2. Repositories, new repository, AV guesser. Need to switch to Vim or anything Vim based. Vim forever. I have I am, in spite of that joke, I am not a Vim zealot. I don't really care what anybody uses, but it is amusing that like the old Vim versus Emacs wars are very dead because Vim and Emacs are now both on the same side against VS Code. I mean, that's like 4 days old. Remains to be seen whether anybody actually gives a shit. Okay, that is at least GitHub. I didn't add a README. Oh well. So let's see what we added to this. Yeah. I mean, the audacity of naming a tool edit. I mean, I guess, you know, there's ed on Unix. But then again, they named it VS Code, and then most of the time it's just called code. Microsoft are real bastards about naming things. That it's like, that word is ours now. Microsoft named it for DOS. Is it actually, like, spiritually based on DOS edit? If so, that I can slightly see the justification, but only slightly. I don't understand how it is that Restream thinks I've been going for 55 minutes, and OBS thinks I've been going over an hour. Oh, look at that! I refresh Restream and it knows the actual time. How weird that it's 5 minutes off. DOS Edit had mouse support, Lucy. Mouse support was in DOS Edit from like MS-DOS 4 or 5. So having mouse support is nothing new for MS-DOS Edit. Okay, I think I've got made reasonable progress here. I will continue getting this modular loader going some other time.